Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Shabbat Shalom.
It's good to see you all. We know that this is the start of fall break here in Marietta, so I know, kids, y'all excited? Yeah, they're like, yes, a week without school. Thank goodness. Well, I hope those of us who are on vacation, whether you're at home or wherever you are on live stream joining us, or those here who are about to head out of town for the week, or those of us who are just going to be here in plain old, beautiful, sunny, 85-degree Georgia. I hope you all are having a great week and excited for us to welcome Shabbat together for this beautiful weekend. We'll continue with Or Zaruah. Light is sown for the righteous. It is on the bottom of page 14.
Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Or Zaruah, Lat Tzadik, Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Uyishrei Lev Simcha. Yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai dai dai, yai dai 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 dai.
Tomorrow morning, we're going to be celebrating with the Bryson family as Sean becomes bar mitzvah in our community, and you're all welcome to join us. Services are at 10:30 tomorrow morning, and for the honor of lighting our Shabbat candles, I want to invite up Sean's parents, so please come on up.
Hear my
Go ahead,
prayer, I sing to you. Be gracious to the ones I love, and bless them with goodness and mercy and peace. Oh, hear my prayer to you. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen. Let us light these lights and see the way to you, and let us say Amen.
It's yeah, there we go. Keep going. You're good.
Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tivanu lahadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Bless.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav, v'tzivanu
lehadlik ner, lehadlik ner, shel Shabbat. We continue now with L'chad Odi, having welcomed Shabbat officially with lighting of candles, spiritually by welcoming in the Shabbat bride. This is part of the mystical tradition of Tzfat. They equated Shabbat to this bride, of this idea of this beautiful thing that comes into our midst. Just like when we go to a wedding, there's a beautiful entrance in that wedding and that beautiful moment that happens. This is Shabbat, that beautiful moment that is happening for all of us for the next 24 hours or so. We're going to do verses 1, 2, 5, and 9. When we get to verse 9, we'll rise and face the entrance. Page 20. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shamor v'zachor b'dibor echad, Hishmianu elam yuchad, Adonai echad u'shmo echad, L'shemo tiferet v'litchila. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Likrat Shabbat lechu v'nilcha, Tihi kor haberacha, Mirosh mikedem nesucha, Sof maaseh b'machshava techila. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Hitoreri, Kiva orek umiuri, Uri, shir daveri, Kevod Adonai alaik nigla. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Shalom ateret bala, gam b'simcha tohola, toch emunei am segula, boi kala. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. L'chad Odi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Reader's Kaddish can be found on page 26.
Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei Rabbah.
Amen.
Yama divrak hirute, yamlik malkute,
V'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei kol beit Yisrael. Bagala, uv'izman kariv.
Vimeru.
Amen.
Yehei
Shmei Rabbah mevorach, le'alam lal me'al mahia, yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabat, v'yitpa'ar v'yitrumam v'yinaseh, v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalohol, shemei lekudeshah
Brichu.
Le'lamim kol berkata v'shirata,
Tushbechata v'nechemata, dahamihiran be'alma, v'imru. Amen. Our call to worship, Baruch Hu, can be found on page 28. As we are in the month of Elul, heading up to Rosh Hashanah. 2 weeks from now, Rosh Hashanah will be done. Yeah. A few of our tunes this evening are the high holiday melodies to get us in that mood. et Adonai Hamevorach. Baruch Adonai Hamevorach Leolam Vaed. Page 31, we read together the top. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai, our God, from whom the evening flows. Baruch atah Adonai, Ma'ariv Aravim. Wisdom and wonder, page 33. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol, all these things your Torah gives to us. And the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 34. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. Baruch Shem Kevod Malchuto Le'olam Vaed. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. You may be seated. The hafta can be found on page 36.
ואהבת
את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך. והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך, ודיברת בהם בשבתך בביתך, ובלכתך בדרך, ובשוכבך ובקומך, ושרתם לאות על ידיך, והיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותי, והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים, להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם אמת. Yasher Koach, Sean. Yasher Koach, good job. We're excited to be with you as you lead us completely tomorrow morning in our Saturday morning service. We continue now with Michamocha on page 40.
Michamocha
ba'elim Adonai, Michamocha ne'ar ba'kodesh, Nora tehilot osei felech, Ahudecha, Rahu vanecha, Bokei ayam lifnei Moshe Miriam, Zerini anu ve'amru, Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed. Thus it is said, Adonai redeemed Jacob from a hand stronger than his own. Praised are you, Adonai, for redeeming Israel. Baruch atah Adonai, Ga'al Yisrael. Let there be love and understanding among us, page 43. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts. We may lie down in peace and rise up, waiting to do your will.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu l'shalom, l'shalom. V'hamidenu shomreinu l'chayim. Ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufros aleinu sukat shlomecha. Amen. Shelter us beneath thy wings, O Adonai. Guard us from all harmful things, O Adonai. Keep us safe throughout the night, till we wake with morning's light. Teach us, God, wrong from right. Amen. 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 Amen.
Vishamru, our song for Shabbat and celebrating Shabbat, can be found at the top of page 44. Vishamru v'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. ביני ובין בני ישראל אותי לעולם, אותי לעולם. ושמרו בני ישראל את השבת, לעשות את השבת לדורותם ברית עולם. כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני, עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ, V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam Yom Hashmihi Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash Shabbat vayinafash V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam V'shamru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat Lasot et ha-Shabbat ledorotam berit olam. As we continue to tefillah, the Amidah, the central portion of our prayer, I want you to turn to the bottom of page 47. There's a fun little poem here. In an envelope marked personal, God addressed me a letter. In an envelope marked personal, I have given my answer. The Amidah are personal prayers. And yet, we, as a community, will recite the first 3 of them together. So we'll join together for pages 46 and 48 and 50, and then into 52, although the words for 52 will be found in your Friday flyer. And then we'll offer you an opportunity for personal reflection. And what it means for all of us to have our individual prayers, but also our out loud individual prayers coming together to form the sound of a community and the voice of a community praying as one. This beautiful idea and concept, I want us to have that in the back of our minds as we join together on page 46. Please rise.
Adonai sefatai tiftach ufi agi tehilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibor v'Hanora, El Elyon, Gomel Chasadim Tovim, V'konei Hakol, V'zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'mevi Gula Lifnei V'neihem, Leman Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer Moshiach Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Bezrat Sarah, page 50. Atah Gibor Leolam Adonai, Mechaye HaKol atah Rav Lehoshia, Morid HaTahal, Mechalkel Chaim B'Chesed, Mechaye HaKol Berachamim Rabim, Sohomech Noflim Verofech Cholim, Atir Hasurim, Umekaye Memunato, Lishenei Afar, Micha Mocha Baal Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Meimit Umechaye Umatzmiach Yeshua B'ne'eman Atalech Hayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechaye HaKol. Atah kadosh, atah kadosh, Shimcha kadosh, V'kedoshim b'kol yom, Ya'alelecha selah. Baruch atah Adonai, El
HaKadosh. You are holy, and your name is holy. Those who strive to be holy declare your glory day by day. Blessed is our God. Blessed is the one. The world ablaze in splendor. Ata Kadosh, Ata
Bishim
Kadosh,
HaKadosh.
Ata Kadosh,
Ugoshim Be'ol Yom.
Bechol Yom,
Ya'alelecha
Selah. Baruch atah Adonai Ha'el HaKadosh.
Baruch atah Adonai
Ha'el HaKadosh. Offer an opportunity now for silent prayer, either the words of the prayer book through page, I believe, 60, or else the words of your heart. When you are finished, you may be seated.
Page 366.
Ata Adonai Hapore Sukkah Shalom 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 Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael. Page 360, 360. Baruch Atah Adonai Hapore Sukkah Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael. Ve'al Yerushalayim Ve'al Kol Amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim Shalom. Ve'al Yerushalayim Ve'al Kol Amo. Ve'al Yerushalayim Shalom. Baruch atah Adonai Hapore Sukkah Shalom Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael. Shalom Aleinu Ve'al Kol Amo Yisrael. We continue now with Misha Berach, found on page 253, our prayer for healing for those in need. In particular, our community we're thinking of Harvey Adelsky, Sherry Alexander, Gary Atkins, Betty Berlin, Yvonne Binns, Lynn Birmingham, Bruce Cohen, Isidore Cohen, Nicholas Catrone, Mary Davis, Stephen Despins, Mitch Earl, Connie Erb, Carrie Ehrlich, Samuel Farmer, Greg Fine, Aaron and Roz Feingold, Laura Florience, Margaret Fogel, Lauren Friedman, Max Gans, Nancy Gay, Margie Glazer, Tom Gorgon, Rick Hack, George Campbell Hamilton, Frederick Herman, James Hurst, Laura Jacoby, Maria Javier, John Jenkins, Linda Jenkins, Shannon Jenkins, Jackie Capstein, Michelle Krangle, Cindy Levine, Gary Levy, Ken Levy, Marsha Levy, Brenda Lewis, Dorothy London, Liz Lyman, Lisa Macklin, Larry M. Melnick, Paul Melnick, Esther Mitchell, Lowell Moreau, Simone Neiman, Arthur Newman, Joyce Newman, Lynn Prisant, Kathy Rasnick, Marjorie Romes, Deborah Rowan, Norman Rosenblatt, Sherry Rosenblum, Barry Savage, Lisa Schaefer, Ed Sheps, Brian Schneider, Nancy Shallett, Randy Shapiro, Nicole Aronson Silverman, David Skolny, Arthur Sletza, Mike Steele, Randy Suchke, Dr. Walter Wolf, Yarden Meir ben Yitzchak, Shmuel Baruch ben Dina. If there are any other names, someone who you'd like to add, perhaps I mispronounced someone's name, like to share their name with our community, please, you may do so as my eyes and hand come around the room. Middle of page 253.
Misheberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Leimotenu. May the source of strength, who blessed the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say Amen. Misheberach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shleima, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say Amen.
Last week, I spoke about social contracts, how we feel committed to or a part and take part in our broader community. And this week's Torah portion, Ki Tavo, has more of family contract. Instead of thinking about the broader community and how we are commanded to help our neighbors, even help our enemies, help our family, how are we interacting as a family? I actually want you to look on the front page of your Friday flyer if you have it, or if you're at home, I think we usually put the Friday flyer. It's been dropped into the chat, so you can feel free to pull out the PDF there, look at it. You'll see Deuteronomy 26:11. Deuteronomy 26:11. And you shall rejoice in all of the goodness that your God has given to you in your household, together with the Levite and the stranger in your midst. This is, while not the exact first verse of the Torah portion, this is kind of the turning point from there. There are 10 verses or so before this in this week's portion that kind of set us up for this moment, this turn into how are we participating as a family? What is our familial obligation to do that? It has this very interesting phrase at the beginning, V'samachta b'chol hatov asher natan lecha Adonai Elohecha uvetecha, and you shall rejoice in all the goodness that your God has given to you in your household. And this is a literal question. I have a microphone. I will come around to you. What on earth does that mean? What does that mean for us to say that we will rejoice in all of our goodness that your God has given to you in your household? And I don't want to leave out, I included it for a reason, for those who have thoughts about as well, together with the Levite and the stranger in your midst. The Levite, of course, is the priestly caste, so now you're required to invite me over for dinner always. Okay? But also, really, what does that mean to be able to include as a part of given to you in your household together with the Levite and the stranger in your midst? What do you think we might have meant? What do we think Torah means when we say, you shall rejoice in all your goodness? If you just raise your hand, and I also want to say, when I put the microphone in front of your face, say your name, so those who don't know you or those at home who can't necessarily see you because the cameras are in weird spots will be able to half identify you as we go.
I think it's
What's your name?
My name is Susan Eisen, and I think it's just basically being grateful for what you have, recognizing all the goodness that God has given you in your life, and even when bad things are happening, you have a lot of good things, and you should rejoice in them.
Got it. So throughout the ups and the downs, for us to find opportunities and moments for gratitude. That's kind of so that's kind of how you want to define the term rejoice. I like that. Thank you, Susan.
Hi, I'm Catherine, and I just want to echo what Sue said because I sense kind of the same thing, because there's just so much to be grateful for when you really just be still and think about it and reflect on how much God has blessed us and how much he has given us, that there is so much to be grateful for, and sometimes you just have to stop and slow down and focus on that.
I love that. I love that. We'll make our way on down. Yep, awesome.
Denise Jacobs. I think it's also part not to take yourself for granted. I think we're so enmeshed in ourselves, and we tend to harp on the negative, on this isn't right in my life, this isn't right. So to kind of look inside and see, oh yeah, there's some good stuff in there. And to work on that, to share that as well, and to keep peace in your house.
I love that reframing to a positive mindset. Can I push you? Can you give us an example? What's one thing that you think sometimes we take for granted?
I think the fact that we're alive, a lot of people take for granted. and when we're younger, our health as well, as that changes throughout life. We don't tend to think about that. Oh, well, when you're 20 and 30 and whatever, that you're strong and you can pick this box up and you can move that over there and, boom, 20 years later, and it's like, not so easy anymore. But and that's just one example. There's tons of others, but I'll let you share.
Thank you, Denise. I appreciate that. Thank you for letting me not challenge you, but push you to just be a little more explicit. To put you on the spot a little bit more, that's fine. I like to do that. Who else? There was a hand. Yeah? You want to add? Okay, it's okay. Yeah. Who are you? I know your hand was up earlier.
Riley.
Hi, Riley. What are you going to say? How are we kind of showing, what does it mean to you shall rejoice in all your goodness that God has given to you in your household, together with the Levites and the strangers in your midst? Yes.
I think showing pride to other people and being kind and not being rude.
I love that. So showing pride to other people, showing some kindness, those are two very different things, but also really important. Okay, we should not for sure take for granted people being kind. Let's not take for granted that people are kind. Let's not take advantage of people being kind too. Thank you as well. I love that as well. But again, while I know there are more kind people than not in this world, we tend to not focus on the kind people in our lives and in our world. Paul, I saw a hand.
Paula Wilson. So I agree with what's been said, but also to cultivate and grow the good, go towards the strength.
Can you say a little bit more about the cultivating? Like, what is that? What is that?
The things that are good in the characteristics, the traits that are good in yourself and in the people in your home, to continue to grow that.
I love that. So maybe in kind of refocusing ourselves, in changing that mentality, that mindset to focusing on the good, whether that's the kindness or all the other good things, we are changing our mindset. We're cultivating this idea. And look, I have 2 young children at home, and we think all about the time of like, how do we build structure and systems to be able to get ourselves to, I don't know, out of the house in the morning or to bed at night, and how we build routines into our lives. We can build a routine into the kindness that we have in our lives. I want to add one tidbit for this because I had a few. So Rashi talks about this. Thou shalt rejoice in every good thing. From this, the rabbis derive the law that we should be doing this on sacred occasions. So I'll say it one more time. So, and thou shalt rejoice in every good thing. So they take this not just as, let's make sure all of the happy things in our lives we need to take stock of, but also at our sacred times. We need to rejoice in happy moments. Does that make sense? This is not just about what we do or how we do it. We've kind of heard of both a little bit of what and how, but Rashi is taking us to the when. When is a good time to be joyful? Okay, there are times when we need to be extra joyful, and there are times, yes, when bad things are happening in our lives or we're mourning. There are times when, sadness is okay. We all love Inside Out. If you haven't seen Inside Out 2, it comes out on Disney Plus, I think, next week or this week or something like that. Okay? But again, sadness is okay, and we need to make sure that we have joy and make sure that there are times when we need to focus on that joy. Now, the interesting thing of what Rashi says is not that we need to make sure that we have joyful wins, okay, but the when we should be joyful. Rashi talks about, and this is not just his idea, but he's kind of sorting other places, and particularly from the Talmud from, almost 1,000 years before him or 800 years before him, that one is to, I have to find the point in that sentence. There we go. The occasion of bringing the first fruits, which is part of this Torah portion, okay, and is made only during the joyful period of the first year from the time that we have Shavuot until Sukkot. So when is our joyful time in Judaism? Summer, late spring, fall. Now why summer, or I guess late spring, summer, and fall? Why is that our joyful time? It's not cold, says Lori, which is correct. It is hot, although sometimes I guess it almost feels a little too hot sometimes at times, but I get that. But yes, so it is too cold. Yes, when else? Exactly. This is really it for Rashi and for our ancestors is the reason why. So the idea of why in that period, why in the spring, summer, fall-ish, why is that the joyful time? Because that is when fruits and plants and flowers are flourishing. And our ancestors in an agrarian society, okay, they had to save up food to get through the winter. Okay, when life was cold and things weren't blooming, you didn't have a refrigerator to keep things fresh for long periods of time, or freezers to keep things for weeks and months on end. When you ran out of something, you were out until that tree came back around the next season. So we have a where, a when, and a how. We should be joyful. Now I want to take it one step further. So yes, this is talking about how we are to rejoice with our families. Go back to your Friday flyers, because I want to come back to the last section, or two, I guess, phrases. Together with the Levite and the stranger in your midst. Don't worry about the Levite. I don't really care how you're celebrating joyful times with me. I'm going to show up anyways. That's okay. What does that mean when we're talking about our family contract? Okay, this entire portion is focused on the family and the family unit and what is the family's obligation. We still have here, and the stranger in your midst. What does it mean to rejoice in all the goodness with the stranger in your midst? And I'll bring back, and this time we'll use the microphone again for this one. Oh, remember who are you?
I'm me.
Hi, me. Hi,
I'm
Vivian.
Is sharing your joy and your blessings with others.
Sharing your joy and your blessings with others. Yeah, great.
I was basically going to say
What's your
the same
name?
to Harvey Schneider, and basically to say the same thing, but just more in a way to help that person see what they're missing out on.
Help them see on what they're missing out
In other
on.
words, if somebody doesn't have any valid reason for being sad, but he's miserable, and you would know another person in exactly the same circumstance that's having a great life.
Oh, see, okay, so Harvey, this is really cool, and I love this. So, two people can have the same experience and walk away with different feelings. Okay, someone's going to walk out of here saying that was a really great Friday night service, and other people are like, man, Rabbi phoned it in tonight, I thought. Okay, same Friday night service, I'm not going to do anything different, and people can have different experiences. So Harvey is kind of saying, when we have these moments, what is that? This is an opportunity for us to kind of say, if we encounter someone who is like, man, that wasn't it for me, engage them in a conversation. Oh, are you really? That was, okay, and forget Friday night service, that feels really loaded. Okay, you're all going to watch a movie. Okay, you just watched a movie. I don't know, we actually had this conversation kind of like this in the office when Deadpool and Wolverine came out, I don't know, a month and a half ago. Okay, one person loved it. I was like, it's a B+. It did what it needed to do. Okay, and for us to be able to have a conversation about those differences of seeing the same movie with a similar situation in a dark room, whatever, okay? And then for us to having walked away to have that experience, for us to be able to engage each other in a conversation. I love that. Yes.
I'm Sydney, and I feel like it's also just because, like, we're all humans, so it's like we all have some level of connection to one another, like even if we don't know each other. So it's like it never feels bad to have a positive connection with a stranger. So like it's just always good to like be like, hey, I like your shirt or something like that. Like even if you don't know them, like no one's ever gonna, or it's rare you'll find someone who's gonna frown at that. Like
I love this. So this is an idea of how can we use small things to, again, begin a conversation, to begin a relationship with someone of, you know, that, like, I don't know, the color of that shirt is, like, really great. Or, and you know, look, small compliments go a long way for some people. And I really appreciate that. I love that, Sydney. Of course.
Barbara, it's working.
It's working, Barbara. We hear you.
Am I the only one that sees a contemporary application to this? A very contemporary application to this?
I'm so interested in what your contemporary application is now, Barbara.
Given the times and the strife and the disagreements and I'm seeing this as the stranger in the midst that you disagree with, and you really should sit down and talk to them. I'm reading this in a whole contemporary way. How long ago did this rabbi interpret this?
Well, so, look, Torah itself, this particular text of Deuteronomy is going to be, scholars say, 2,400 years old, give or take. Rashi's 11th century, Provence, France, give or take. So,
So think how
just a little while ago.
Text could have contemporary applications for our souls if we really apply this to what's going on today in our lives.
Barbara can collect her $50 check later for that little piece. But no, yes. What does that mean for us to celebrate with strangers? It means to celebrate with strangers. That, like, how do we build community? When someone walks in the door here at Kol Emeth for the first time, okay, or you walk into a place for the very first time, whether you're, you're trying a new hobby, okay, you're decided you wanted to go become a potter for fun, you walk in your first pottery class, you know no one, you don't know the teacher, feeling a little lonely, a little lost, maybe a little nervous, and then there's that friendly face who just says, hi, I'm Barbara, or hi, I'm me. It goes a long way for us to be able to show that and to also welcome people and say, we want you here. Okay, I want you in my life. I want you at my birthday party. Let's go out to dinner. Let's have a good time. I want you at whatever those moments look like for all of us. Yes, that, Barbara, is a really beautiful, and I appreciate that, and I fully feel that too, of what that means for us to be able to find opportunities. Riley, was your hand up again? It was? Riley, you want the last word?
I was just going to say that if we're different or not, we at least have something the same or different, but we can still celebrate with strangers.
Awesome. So even when we have our differences, even when there's something that's different about us, that we can still find opportunities to find ways to celebrate with others and with those strangers. And I want to end with not this page. There's a beautiful midrash on this particular text. This midrash is about 1,500 years old. Rabbi Joshua of Sichnin said, in the name of Rabbi Levi, Israel atoned for itself before God by merit from 2 commandments. Okay, so in Judaism we teach there are 613 commandments. Okay, out of those 613, there are 2 in particular, according to this one rabbinic tradition, this one story, that helped the people atone for themselves. The first is the merit of Shabbat, and the second is by the merit from the tithes that come from this exact portion in this moment. Okay, we are commanded to celebrate in our goodness. We are commanded to celebrate with the Levites. We are commanded to celebrate with the strangers in this family obligation, in these family moments that are coming up, and all of the pieces of law and Torah that come in the next chapter and a half or so, entirely family focused. How are we doing all of that? It is through these tithes, through these communal givings, through these opportunities for us to celebrate with others. And through that, we will atone our people. And I love that because where are we? We are, 9 days or whatever from Rosh Hashanah. This is the time. This month of Elul, this is the time when we are thinking about atonement. People often say, I made a mistake, I'll atone for that on Yom Kippur. Yom Kippur is not for that. There are 364 days in the Gregorian calendar, 300 and whatever days, 300 and, I don't know, a few less days than that in the Hebrew calendar. Every other day but Yom Kippur is for that atonement. You can atone today. You can make it right with a friend or a family member or a neighbor or a coworker today. Yom Kippur, that's for you and God. One day for you to take a breath, for you to set things aside. But this moment, this time, this month of Elul, the next, week and a half, 2 weeks or so until we get to Rosh Hashanah, I hope this is an opportunity for you to take a moment to find some joy. For you to know that in your family, whatever that looks like, in your setup, whether that is blood family, blood relatives, or friends who are basically family, whatever that family setup looks like, for you to find an opportunity for you to find some joy. To that, hopefully, some peace, some happiness, some opportunities to celebrate, and a little bit of atonement to make us all better and heading in the right direction to be our best selves. Shabbat Shalom. We'll continue now with Aleinu L'Shabeach, page 282 and 287. Please rise.
Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, latei gedula leotzeh bereshit, shelo asanu k'yoyei haratzot, velo samanu k'mishpachot adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, Lifnei melech malchei hamlachim, hakadosh baruch hu. V'ne'emar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz, bayom hahu, yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo
Ushemo echad. You may be seated. Our thoughts turn to those who've departed this earth, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every race and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. In our community this week, we are thinking of our community members who have died in the last 11 months. Sydney Schneider, Melvin Kiner, Francis Reif, Sandra Slutza, Mary Thoburn, Erica Goldstone, James Corley, David Rachtman, Judith Siegel, Norman Spitzer, Joanne Hankins, Helene Holtzman, Barbara Rubin Piesick, Mark Newerman, Edith Meininger, Jerry Livingston, Bob Kershaw, Alan Eisen, Pat Savage, Norma Plattner, Philip Meal, Rodney Scott Cohen, Kitty Cohen, Lila Kaminer, Richard Barker, Deborah Brandt Singerman. We're also thinking of those loved ones whose yahrzeit falls this week, which is the anniversary of their passing. Norma Annapol, Howard Drexler, Selma Eisen, Aaron Kessler, Sarah Loshak, Jack Mendel, Barbara Mintz, Jack Morris, Roger Roseman, Dorothy Roth, David Serwitter, Harold Shubin, Walter Siegel, Gary Eli Silverman, Victoria Levy Stoltzberg, Manuel Verzosa, Charles Wilson. We're especially extending a heartfelt condolence to Deborah Brenner and her family on the recent passing of her father, Paul Zale. Paul's funeral is going to be on Sunday in Dallas, and we know that Deborah and Richard, they're there, and we've been chatting with them, and we're sending them all of our love and support from here in Marietta. If there are any loved ones whose names were not on the list, or if I mispronounced a loved one's name and you'd like to correct that for our community, please, you may do so now as my eyes and hand come around the room. As is custom in our community, we rise to support our mourners for the recitation of Mourner's Kaddish on page 294. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach rutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uvyomechon uvchayedu kol beit Yisrael, b'agala v'zman kariv v'imru, Amen. Yehei shmei Rabbah mevarach le'olam lalmei almaya, Yibarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shmei dekudsha b'richu. Leila min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran be'alma v'imru, Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. Oseh shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom, Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, Amen. May all of their memories be an abiding blessing for us. And together we say, Amen. Amen. You may be seated. This moment I have the honor to invite up for announcements and presentations, Lori Corley.
Hi there, I'm Lori Corley. I'm president of WRJ and on the board of trustees. Rosh Hashanah is less than 2 weeks away. Our online High Holiday Hub has everything you need to prepare for the holidays. So visit kolemeth.net or scan the QR code in your program to take a look at all our offerings. I've been there, there's a lot of information. There are 3 hub highlights for the week. You can honor and remember your loved ones who are no longer with us by listing them in our Yizkor Memorial Book, which will be distributed on Yom Kippur afternoon, and will also be available as a digital download. The deadline for submitting names for this book is Wednesday, September 25th. Childcare will be available for children 2 years old through 4th grade on Rosh Hashanah morning, Yom Kippur morning, and new this year, Yom Kippur afternoon. Registration is required, and the link is on the hub. Children and teens in 5th grade and higher are invited to join us in the sanctuary to truly experience the High Holy Days. Once again, we want to remind you that tickets are digital this year. You'll be able to either scan the ticket from your phone or you can print the ticket if that's more comfortable to you. Also, join us next Saturday, September 28th, a week from tomorrow, at 7:30 for Selichot, the opening service for the High Holidays, held the Saturday evening before Rosh Hashanah. The evening will include study, song, and prayer. Participants will also assist with changing out Torah covers to their white mantles, a visual symbol marking the season. And I want to invite up Vivian Brostoff.
If I knew you were coming, I'd have baked a cake. Oh, that's about 2 weeks away. Would you bake a cake or bring some cookies or brownies? WRJ is sponsoring the Oneg for Erev Rosh Hashanah. So we need you to bring the sweets that you make, or maybe buy, but don't you tell people you made it. So be sure you do that, and there's a site here where you can sign up and let us know that you're going to bring something. Thank you so much.
Remember to check your Tekiah every Tuesday morning for more details of what's going on at TKE. And let me call up Sean at this point. Sean, we have a number of goodies here for you in honor of your bar mitzvah tomorrow. We're really looking forward. I'm sure you're going to do a good job. Sean is a wonderful young man, so I hear, and he is homeschooled, and he's a Boy Scout working towards Eagle Scout, and he also is into computers and swimming and is a good big brother. So he's also going to celebrate his bar mitzvah by taking a cruise with the family. So that will be different. I hope you enjoy it. We have a number of things for you in this goodie bag. From the board and the clergy and the religious school is our 2 certificates. One is from TKE, recognizing you becoming a bar mitzvah. The second is a certificate from the Union of Reformed Judaism and Route 1, a scholarship towards a URJ high school in Israel summer program. So we hope you'll take advantage of that later. You also get 2 books, the Tanakh, which is the Hebrew Bible, and the second is the J Guy's Guide, providing practical advice using Judaism to get you through your teen years. Also on behalf of WRJ, there is a Kiddush cup, and on behalf of the Men's Club, a Jewish star necklace. We hope you will use these items often and into your adulthood. I'm going to give you your things. We welcome you and look forward to all you're going to show us tomorrow, how much you've learned. Okay, please join us after services for an Oneg sponsored by the Bryson family in honor of Sean becoming a bar mitzvah. Shabbat shalom.
Thank you, Lori. And I will say, working with Sean over the last couple of months for him to work on his Devar Torah, not many 7th graders dive into theological statements. And he took us there, not me. I usually try to actually avoid sending 7th graders in that direction just because it's deep and heavy. And he's like, nope, Rabbi, I'm dragging you along with me into this really beautiful, beautiful place. So really excited for tomorrow morning. And of course, everyone from the entire community is welcome to come and pray with us while Sean leads us. We will conclude our service with Kiddush and Motzi. Kiddush and Motzi. Anyone want to come up might want some challah a little bit earlier before Oneg? I know there's some people who are like, my belly's a little bit empty. So we'll begin with Kiddush first. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei peri hagafen. Take it away.
Motzi lachem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread.
Thanks, God.
Our voices
Voices rise in song together, as our joyful prayer is said. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone.